In sports, there is a thin line between glory and agony. Lipscomb is one OT loss away from automatic qualification for the A-Sun semifinals. Liberty has the most clean sheets of any team in the country, the number 8 RPI, and yet 3 drop results in conference play have them in the conference quarterfinals as well. And today, Lipscomb and Liberty, arguably the 2 most talented teams in the A-Sun, square off in its quarterfinal match for a chance to advance to the semis in Jacksonville. Welcome everybody to the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. I am Wes Bowling. It is a picturesque Chamber of Commerce evening in Nashville, Tennessee for 2 teams with axes to grind and with hunger to advance to the NCAA tournament. For Lipscomb, it would be its 3rd NCAA qualification in 4 seasons. The margin between these 2 teams has been thin, too. In Game 1, Lipscomb won in overtime up in Lynchburg 3-2. In Game 2, just 13 days ago, a scoreless draw between these 2 groups. And now Lipscomb, wearing gray, will kick off against Liberty, wearing 2-tone blue, and one of these teams will advance to the A-Sun Men's Soccer Final Four. We are underway in Nashville. Lipscomb booms it down the pitch, moving left to right across your screen in those gray kits. Liberty, owners of 8 clean sheets this season and the number 8 RPI in NCAA soccer. 1-2-1 in A-Sun play after upstart Bellarmine came really out of nowhere to win the division in its first year in the A-Sun and its first year moving up from Division 2. 6-2-2 the record overall for this Liberty team. Lipscomb comes in with a record of 5-4-2. They share that 1-2-1 record in conference action, with both of those losses coming against Bellarmine. Lipscomb with a win and a draw against this Liberty team. This one's going to be good. And we were talking before the match with Charles Morrow, the Lipscomb head coach. He has such respect for this Liberty team, and you get the feeling in talking to him that the winner of this contest could end up being a favorite to advance all the way to the NCAA tournament. Lots of work to do after this, would have to win 2 more matches, but certainly possible between 2 groups who have experience in postseason action. Lipscomb, winners of the A-Sun in 2017 and 18, went all the way to the Sweet 16 in one of those seasons. And Liberty on the way up. The best defense in the league, just .47 goals against per contest. It's going to be a fun one here tonight as Honore Kalala tries to escort the ball out of play, and it just continues to tiptoe the touchline, so he has to work it back to his keeper, Michael Sibley. 50-50 ball won by Liberty, and Musa Morris with the ball. He leads the conference in goals, but he hasn't scored 1 in 4 contests. He'll switch field all the way over to Philip Burnett. Burnett to Gabe Finley, the coach's son, as Liberty tries to string some passes together. Finley toward the byline. Stabs across past everybody, and it didn't matter. He was over the goal line before he delivered it. Liberty comes out in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Their keeper, one of the best in the league, Danny Cordero, the Costa Rican prospect, just 5 goals against this season, although 3 of those came against Lipscomb up in Lynchburg, Virginia in 1 match. He leads A-Sun in saves, wins, and shutouts, 2nd in goals against average, and as we mentioned, 8 clean sheets. That's the best in NCAA soccer. In front of him, a 4-man back line, left to right, Brant Betts, Malik Smith, Braden Boretsky, and Philip Burnett. Boretsky scored in the A-Sun quarterfinals last season. Marco Matrevsky is the number 6, and he wears number 6 as well. And Charles Morrow says he's really impressed by Matrevsky's game, says everything really runs through him. He will play in midfield in that 4-3-3 formation, with Seth Clark and Luke Eberle. Clark has scored in 3 of 4 this season. And up top, Gabe Finley leads the team in shots. Musa Morris leads the league in goals and points. And Arnold Onyengo gets his first start of the season. The Kenyan freshman, 5'8", will start along the wing for this team. An injury early on here as the trainer's going to come out and take a look at Zarek Jakubowski, who is down for the Bisons. Zarek getting his start. He's the only player on this Lipscomb team to have scored in a conference tournament match. Did so back in 2018 against Jacksonville. And as the trainers attend to him, we'll break down the Lipscomb starting lineup, a 4-2-3-1 formation anchored in goal by Michael Sibley, the sophomore Londoner, 2nd at A-Sun in saves, has played all but 1 match this season. And When he gave up 2 against Bellarmine in overtime up in Louisville, it's the first time in 4 matches he had given up multiple goals in a contest. Jakubowski is on his feet and being looked at on the sidelines by the trainers. He was going to be starting on that left wing. But in defense first, left to right, Louis Robinson, who scored a penalty kick goal against Bellarmine on the road last week. Honore Kalala, Scott Golden, and his brother Noah. William Turner and Ryan Doherty in central defense. Jakubowski, who just left the match, joined by Alejandro Lopez and Hayes Wood in midfield, and Javon Smith is up top. Smith, a freshman who made such an impact early in this year. 2 goals, 2 assists in his first 3 games. Hasn't had goals or assists since. And still looking for his first shot on goal since that early flurry. Benny Harris came in on that left wing for the hobbled Jakubowski. Harris, the senior, one of 4 on this team. As Honore Kalala clears right next to the corner flag, and Liberty will have a throw. Early on, it has been the Flames with the more positive of the action. This is the second ASUN soccer tournament quarterfinal meeting of the day between Lipscomb and Liberty. The women got together at 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 Eastern, and it was the Flames with the upset win over Lipscomb to advance to the conference semis, as this ball playing pinball off some heads before Doherty spins a clearance out of play. Liberty scored in the 21st minute and then held on for dear life against a Lipscomb team that had won the regular season title in the division and had been to the last 2 NCAA tournaments as ASUN champ. So a big upset and a big moment for the Flames women's team, and they are on hand today, as are members of the Lipscomb women's team, to support their comrades on the men's side. You would imagine the women and men for Liberty likely traveled down here together from Lynchburg, Virginia, as Noah Golden heaves it into Honore Kalala. This is a back line for Lipscomb that has been consistent in its performance and also in its makeup, as Scott Golden starts alongside his brother on the right side. Kalala, actually Golden's going to be on the left side, it looks like. Honore Kalala, right center back, and Louis Robinson, the very dynamic left back who loves to get forward in the attack. Ball is nicked back from Lopez to Javon Smith. The Londoner slides it forward to Benny Harris along the byline, chips it back, and he's won a corner kick for his team. The first corner of the match for either side, just 5 minutes in. Wes Bowling with you as the sun starts to sink behind the trees of the hills here in Green Hills, Tennessee, just southwest of Nashville, casting shades across the pitch.
Bison's on the corner kick.
But the sun will shine brilliantly on one of these teams today, as Noah Golden and Alejandro Lopez step to that far corner flag, and there are 5 Lipscomb bodies in the box. Spun in, Turner heads it wide, well off frame. But yet another shot for William Turner from his center back slash central defensive midfield spot. Today he's in that defensive midfield role, has played as a center back as well. He took 5 shots in the last Liberty match here in Nashville, a scoreless draw. And Lipscomb was by far the more active team in that one. 20 shots for the Bisons, just 5 for Liberty. And I asked Charles Morrow, the Lipscomb coach, what the difference was between that second scoreless meeting and the first one when Lipscomb won 3-2 in overtime. And he said he really thought his team did a better job limiting Liberty in transition. This is a Flames team that can really counterattack quickly and ferociously. And he said his team did a good job buckling that down. Louis Robinson ambitiously ventures forward and is stripped of the ball. Gabe Finley the other way, marked by Doherty. Here's Seth Clark, forward for Matrevsky. Marco Matrevsky slips it forward, was trying to slide it through, and then a shot from behind the play, saved by Michael Sibley, the first stop of the night for either goalie, and it's a corner kick for Liberty. A hot shot there as the through ball was headed to the foot of Luke Eberle, but it was tapped back by a Lipscomb defender and resulted in the quick follow-up by Marco Matrevsky, the man who initiated the chance to begin with. And he'll be the one to take the corner kick. Joining him is Seth Clark. And 2 players right in front of the Lipscomb keeper, Sibley. They'll play it short. Matrevsky. Morris. Curling effort just high. Musa Morris is arguably the most dangerous player in the A-Sun. The stats would at least indicate that. Leads the league in goals with 5, points with 12, and he had an assist against Lipscomb in the match in Lynchburg. He's a senior, transferred in from Grand Canyon University, where he was a member way back of the WAC all-freshman team. And Morris, 5'7" senior, playing up top alongside Eberle and Finley today. Sibley, a bullet to the foot of Benny Harris. Back to Robinson. Takes it first time, was looking down the pitch for Javon Smith. Ultimately, it ends up being a throw for Liberty. Back and forth frenetic pace early on in this contest. And Sibley's going to send this one over the benches, and I do believe it went into Shackelford Road, although a white SUV seemed to be oblivious to the circumstances, so I guess it didn't make it far onto the street. Finley marauds into the box. Smooth tackle by Scott Golden to the foot of Louis Robinson, and not only does Lipscomb neutralize the assault, but they don't give a corner kick, and now they're launching a counterattack. Smith reverses field and mishits that one. The idea, I think, there was to look for Doherty here on the near side, and instead he sailed it behind Doherty and over the head of Noah Golden. Golden, back-to-back players of the week in this conference. First, the defensive player of the week 2 weeks ago. This past week, he was the overall player of the week. Not surprising for the man who was rated as the A-Sun Defensive Preseason Player of the Year. Take away Morris down the flank, into the box, marked by 2 Lipscomb players and gets the finish wrong. Hits the guest tab on the scoreboard instead of lighting it up. Nonetheless, that's what you get if you give this ball away against an incisive counterattacking team like Liberty. Not something that you should sign up to do. Thanks to all of you for watching today here on YouTube. We would love to hear from you. Many of you watched a couple weeks ago, and we had splendid interaction during the match in the comments section on YouTube. And just as with that game, I'm all by myself up here and would love to hear from you. Be my color commentator. Tell us what you think of this match. Whether you're wearing the purple and gold of Lipscomb or the blue and red of Liberty, or you're a neutral wanting to watch some good soccer, maybe you're a fan of A-Sun men's soccer and are watching to see who's going to advance to the semifinals, I don't blame you. You picked a good one to watch, and we want to do this one justice. So reach out to us. Let us know where you're watching from, what you think of the match. Give us some analysis. Tell us if there's a particular player you're supporting, and we'll work to get you on air at some point here on the show. Musa Morris back to the heart of his midfield, and Arnold Onyango. So Onyango's playing in a central defensive midfield role. I had him pegged as a wing. Instead, he's sitting back, and it's Luke Eberle playing on that right wing position, along with Gabe Findley, who will switch a lot today between being the talisman up top and playing on the wing. There's some positional flexibility with those top 3 of the Liberty attack, as Javon Smith is set loose briefly. But the flag is up, and looks like maybe that ball crossed the far touchline. Bill reaches out, says, "Let's go Flames." Finley goes down, draws a whistle. Coach's son, Gabe Finley, dynamic player, just 5'6", the freshman wing. Has started 10 matches this season. That's all of them. Has an assist and leads the team in shots. He's 4th in the A-Sun in shots on goal. And what you get out of him is a player who is savvy, diminutive but dynamic, and tough to defend. He likes to mix things up, catch defenders out of position, and capitalize. Set piece from one step inside the center stripe is going to be launched all the way toward the box and cued away by Honore Kalala, the sophomore center back. Finley battles with Lopez for the ball. The Lipscomb central midfielder briefly comes away with it. Deflects back all the way to the keeper, Michael Sibley. When Lipscomb went to Liberty, Sibley tied a season high in saves. Liberty forced him to make 5. 5-3-2 record, just over 1 goal against per match. 2nd in the conference in shots saved. Oh, beautiful one-touch pass from Golden to Doherty and then unfurled down the near flank to Hayes Wood. Wood chips one in, takes a deflection, and diving onto it is Cordero before Javon Smith can catch up. Splendid breakout action, though, by the Bisons to unfurl that attack, and Hayes Wood, as good a player as any in this conference at converting those, has 4 assists this year. That's tied for first in the league. And Wood also scored a goal at Liberty in that 3-2 Lipscomb win. Onyango. Picture-perfect ball down the far flank. Burnett's attempted cross is deflected. We have the #1 fan of Alejandro Lopez watching. We have a Go Flames on the comment section, and also Tanner watching from Springfield, Missouri, hoping to see Kyle Sutton get some action. Sutton, a freshman forward, has played in 6 games this year, so a decent chance he'll get in at some point. All-state player in Missouri. One brother played track and another baseball, athletic family. And Kyle certainly figures into this team's plans here in the future. A young group. And one of those young players is Javon Smith, the freshman forward, off whose foot the ball caroms out of play. Smith is an interesting story. He has those 2 goals and 2 assists, and he has them in the first 2 matches of his college career. And the man from Nottingham has been a little quiet lately. Hasn't had a shot on goal since that early stretch. But Charles Morrow said early on he expected him to have a big year. He's got pedigree. His brother's an All-American forward at Clemson. Smith, a smart player, good at getting in behind and finding gaps in the defense. And Lipscomb's goal will be to try to set him free by playing through the wings, dragging back and finding Smith in advantageous positions. Nearly 15 minutes in, West Bowling with you at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. No score, 1 highlight save from Lipscomb's Michael Sibley, the only real significant action in this one. Musa Morris found himself in a decent position, but had a tough angle and mishit a shot. 3 shots so far for Liberty, that 1 on target, and it was from the foot of Marko Matrevsky. Just 1 shot so far for Lipscomb, but it was off the mark on a corner kick. William Turner. Benny Harris, the senior, to the byline, able to keep it in. Ball is ultimately cleared, and Louis Robinson will toss it in. Robinson from Nottingham, England, one of 2 Nottingham natives on this club. He and Javon Smith both. Ball sent in, but past the onrushing Hayes Wood. Robinson, one of 4 to start every match for this Lipscomb team. And previously played as a forward, but has moved to left back. And you'll see that a lot. Soccer coaches love to move players backward into defense or into central midfield if they have those ball skills, because you can use those ball skills anywhere in the pitch. But what you get with Robinson is a player who also has the aggression of a forward. He loves to charge forward. And both of these fullbacks do. Noah Golden could absolutely be accused of the same thing, and he's getting results. 3 goals this year, 3 assists for him. When you have such active fullbacks, then of course that puts extra pressure on the center backs like Honore Kalala, who's been stellar this year. Works this one back to Sibley. And on central midfield to know when they need to drop back and support when those fullbacks are getting high. The center backs have to spread out. You need those central midfielders to help you. Takeaway, Lipscomb, Lopez. Alejandro slips one in just past Harris. It was behind Smith, and looked like it was sent through for Benny Harris, but the senior a step shy on that one. Pulls up in frustration. Lopez, second in the ASUN in shots. Takes a lot of them. Shots in every match but 1 for him. Did miss that second Liberty match, the one here at home. And he's a guy that will really seek to stir the drink. Again, most of the action goes down the wings for Lipscomb. Hayes Wood down that right is particularly incisive. And so Lopez finds himself in a role where he needs to locate open positions, find those open slots, and then team up with the ball sent in from the wing. We'll also see him do what he did on that previous play and try to unfurl it down the flank himself. Musa Morris dispossessed. William Turner slips it forward. The freshman from Father Ryan High School won a state title for the Fighting Irish. Here's Louis Robinson, that marauding left back we talked about. Forward for Doherty. You'll see Doherty uncork at least 1 or 2 from long range today. Loves doing that. Ball sent just above the tips of the hair of Hayes Wood, as Wood is moving centrally and trying to make himself a target inside the 18 along with Javon Smith. It's a breezy night here in Nashville, 71 degrees. It's warmed up throughout the day. It was rainy this morning and early afternoon, and for the women's game here at 1 o'clock local time, we had some mist blowing into the tent. It was a little chilly. Now the sun is peeking out from under the clouds, and it's warmed up by 5 degrees, and the tent is gone. Javon Smith down the right flank. Square ball for Doherty, dispossessed, smooth play there. And escaping is Seth Clark. Lays one across as they'll switch field over to that far side. Luke Eberle sprinting down the pitch, sends it through. Burnett tried to find Finley, but a timely challenge from Robinson to disrupt. Seth Clark gets it back. Clark so dangerous, scored in 3 of his last 4. He led the team in assists last year. This year he has 3 goals. Benny Harris clears off the head of Clark. The touch from Arnold Onyengo. From Nairobi, Kenya, he transferred over from Indiana Wesleyan. Onyengo, a math specialist. He was the best math student in his high school class. I cannot relate. That's why I'm in broadcasting. Free kick for Liberty, 19th minute. And it will be Marko Matrevsky, the man that Lipscomb coach Charles Morrow said is really at the center of what Liberty likes to do. Who takes it? He slips it quickly to Finley. One-touch pass from Clark. Finley, the coach's son, can't keep it from crossing the goal line. Goal kick, Lipscomb. Some others of you tuning in and letting us know you're doing so. We appreciate it. Shelley says, go number 9, Noah Holmes on Liberty. Watching from Apex, North Carolina. All 5 siblings and cousins watching. Frankie Harris says, go Benny. Mom is watching from Atlanta, Georgia. Hope this is not your last game. We need a win. Benny, a senior, has been such a fixture for this team over the years. Redshirt senior. Went to Lipscomb Academy, set the assist record. Moved down to Atlanta with family. Graduated from Greater Atlanta Christian School as that ball is out for a goal kick. And is beloved here on this team. His father recently named the Chancellor of USC Upstate in the Greenville-Spartanburg, North Carolina area. I had a good chat with him after Senior Day, the last match of the year, 13 days ago against this Liberty team. And big things happening for that wonderful family. Oh, slick move there by Brant Betts. Gets the better of Hayes Wood, who comes in from behind. Clean challenge, says the referee. And so Lipscomb going to switch field. Louis Robinson approaching the final third, taps it over to Doherty. Switching again, now it's Noah Golden just outside the near elbow. Golden going to work. Taps it with his left foot outside the 6. Cued away as they were looking for Harris. Musa Morris going to try to usher this one out. A foul right behind the referee. It was William Turner clattering into Seth Clark. And that's the kind of action you can expect all day today. Physical, back and forth, fast-paced. And, of course, high stakes. Moses McDowell says, remember the names Malachi Jones and Levi Jones. You got it, we will. Ethan Wood, the uncle of Hayes Wood, watching from Marathon Key, Florida. If it's a key, I'm guessing there's a beach nearby. Hope it's lovely. Hope you get to see the sunset over the water if you're on the west side of that key. And Vicky says, Chet and Vicky are cheering for Liberty. Brant's grandparents. Hey, Brant just had a really nice play a second ago, and he's on the ball now. Brant Betts sends it over the top. That's Eberle in that left wing role now. Was he pushed down by Kalal? The referee says no. He's going to let some physical action happen today. And I think as long as that's consistent, both teams are probably going to be okay with that. Assuming, of course, that players remain healthy. And that the flagrant stuff is still called. Wide open space for Lipscomb, but a heavy touch by Javon Smith, and it's going to be a throw for Liberty next to the stripe as we are somehow already nearly halfway through this first half. This one's gone quickly. It's because of this end-to-end, back-and-forth action. I think a lot of this game is going to be played in midfield and could be a bit choppy as these teams both would love to possess and then break quickly. I don't think you're going to see either of these teams try to be Barcelona and have 24 passes before entering the final third. They want to be direct. And when you're direct and try to go through an opponent, things can get physical and they can get frenetic. Here's Golden for Hayes Wood. That combination's been so effective this year as Noah thinks about the overlap. Instead, Wood crosses far side of the box, and Benny Harris couldn't connect with it, but his arm was into the back of the defender anyway. Foul goes against him and Lipscomb. Still, Harris has been a big part of what's going on so far for Lipscomb. A lot of field switching, as what Lipscomb loves to do is use the attacking prowess of Robinson and Golden to overlap the forward wings in that 4-2-3-1 formation. And there it looked like a bit of a miscommunication because Golden wanted to overlap, but Wood said, nope, no patience for that, I'm taking it. Crossed it for Harris. Good vision and a well-placed ball, but it's a step in front of Harris. Turner taps it past the attacking player to Doherty, who sends the ball forward and has it carry right back to Robinson. Scott Golden. With so many Liberty players just standing in the way of these exit balls for Lipscomb and deflecting them back. Here's Eberle. He's got Clark on the overlap, stabbed away from him by Robinson. Quick touch by Turner. Wood, Doherty. Here comes Lipscomb. I am prepared to be breathless today. Frenzy of action so far as Golden's ball falls behind Louis Robinson. Wes Bowling with you at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, one of 3 ASUN quarterfinal matches going on today. The winner of this one will take on the highest remaining seed in the Southern Division. As Scott Golden wins out, slides it forward for Louis Robinson. Here's Benny Harris. And the other 2 quarterfinal games are also ongoing right now. It's really pretty simple. The winner of this one takes on the highest remaining seed in the South. The lowest remaining seed in the South will play Bellarmine, the surprise champions of this Northern Division. Just 3 teams in the Northern Division and a unique setup this year. Every team playing every other team twice. How close were things in this division? 5 of the 6 total matches went to overtime. And the one that didn't, Lipscomb and Bellarmine here to start the season, was decided in the 86th minute. Doherty volleys that one high. Hayes Wood with his back to the defender just outside the 18. Doherty curling cross back post. Harris is there and slides just shy of the ball. What a run by Benny Harris and an even better entry pass for Doherty. And that one just, I think it might have grazed off of Harris's jersey. It was so close. And Lipscomb has the better of the action at the moment, just as was the case 13 days ago when the Bisons tallied 20 shots to Liberty's 5. You can see the wheels turning. You can see what Lipscomb wants to do. Circle the box, get runners on the back post, and send in the crosses. Liberty very direct, as you see right there, going over the top for Eberle. Eberle, Morris, and Finley. 3 forwards for this group. And it's 4-3-3 setup. Typically what they like to do, what we've seen so far today, is they have an anchor central midfielder underneath them with 2 above him, like a pyramid, or even a diamond if you count the striker at the top of that. So Matrevsky, Clark, and Eberle, or sorry, Onyango are forming that pyramid. Onyango at the base of it. Clark and Matrevsky above him, both in kind of dual number 8 roles. Turner, Kalala, the center back, finds Turner, briefly playing on the right side. Forward for Golden. Noah Golden, reigning conference player of the week, crosses it in, deflects for a Lipscomb corner. He's looking for Javon Smith. It was cleared over the byline, and Lipscomb has its 2nd corner kick of the evening.
Bisons on the corner kick.
It's Golden and Lopez on the near corner flag. Lipscomb looking for the breakthrough in this conference quarterfinal match. Smith, near post, another corner kick. There was no way he was going to find that angle, so he did the smart thing and just earned the corner. 2 men blocking that post. You like the idea of trying to find Javon near post. If that's a little higher, he can skip a header back to the back post that was going to be a little less patrolled. It's the second shot of the day for Lipscomb. They've yet to put one on target. Back post this time, Turner heads it high and wide. He had Lipscomb's first shot of the day, and now he has its third. So far, the play of the day, a diving save by Michael Sibley in the first 10 minutes on a shot by Marko Matrevsky that looked headed for the back of the net. Wouldn't say that Sibley, the keeper, came out of nowhere, but he certainly had work to do. A serious question asked of him, and he answered it. A blazing, spinning rocket sent his way, and now Liberty on the prowl again. Eberle, low cross. 2 steps past the foot of Gabe Finley. The coach's son, coach is Kelly Finley in his second season here on campus. They've improved from a 5-13 campaign last year. Finley also has been the head coach at NC State and Butler. Oh, nifty move by Golden. Gets past 2 defenders there. Noah to Doherty. Lipscomb will switch play. Louis Robinson. Delicate little backspin. Sent the direction of Hayes Wood. He's hoping that would trickle across for a corner. It did not, so he'll keep it in. And then he outsmarted himself, lost his footing. And Brant Betts cleared. An awkward play there by Wood. I can tell you the field's in great condition, especially considering it rained overnight and much of the morning, and the women played at 1 o'clock. So feet were off the pitch for maybe an hour and a half, but it still looks really sharp. That slip probably more indicative of just an awkward play and not poor field quality. Sibley launches this one toward the benches, and it'll be corralled by an assistant coach there on the bench.
Checking in for the Flames, number 9.
And we'll have the first substitution of the day for either team. It's Noah Holmes entering. The sophomore from Apex, North Carolina, Cary Christian, has a goal this year. It was the game winner when Liberty beat UNC. Big time win for this club over the Tar Heels. Holmes enters for Musa Morris, and he will play up top. Holmes started the previous Lipscomb match that was played here. Oh, Finley almost slipped that one through for Noah. His first touch of the game. Betts on Yango. And now Matrevsky, the captain. Clark, Betts. Nice interplay with Seth Clark as they're looking for an entryway. And Lipscomb closing the door at every turn. Betts to Matrevsky, forward for Finley, who spins and tries to outrace Golden. That doesn't happen often, but he's able to get the corner and get into the box, and Golden has to clear it for a corner kick. It is so rare that someone will sneak past Noah Golden, but that's the kind of speed and cleverness that Gabe Finley has. And it results in the second corner kick of the day for Liberty. Matrevsky will take it. It is Eberle using his height to try to shield the keeper, Sibley, and now joining him in there is Malik Smith, the center back. They're just 2 men back for Liberty. Matrevsky, back post, cued away by Kalala. Kalala from Hobro, Denmark, transfer in from Cumberland University. 6'1", uses that frame well. He's got quite a story. He was born in Malawi. He's also a citizen of Denmark and the Congo. And played briefly in Denmark's top flight. He actually made the squad 3 times. Space for Lipscomb. Golden near side into the attacking third. Forward for Hayes Wood. A compact Liberty defense. Lipscomb trying to find its way through. Lopez, cross, header save. That was Javon Smith. His first shot on target since the second match of the year. Didn't have the pace to beat the quick reacting Cordero. But Danny had to make his first save of the day. Very positive action, and Lipscomb did it exactly like Lipscomb likes to do it. From the wing, Wood and Golden working together. Lopez ended up with the cross. And Smith was in a great position and did everything he could there. 13 minutes to go in this fast-moving first half. West Bowling with you. Scoreless contest. These two teams played 110 minutes of scoreless soccer just 13 days ago on this field. Cross for Benny Harris, sails past the keeper in the goal. Again, we invite you to chime in. Let us know where you're watching and what you think. We've gotten a few more comments from you. Tammy Boretsky cheering from Bradford, Canada. Braden, defender, is their son. Braden Boretsky, an outstanding player for this team. Started every match this year, and again scored in last year's ASUN quarterfinals as Finley and Wood get tangled up, and Hayes Wood has whistled for the infraction. Robinson family watching from Nottingham, cheering on Louis Robinson. Go Forest. Neil Highfield, Seth Highfield's dad. Seth out with an injury, but they're still watching and pulling for a win. And thank you, Vaughn, for letting me know it's Eberle and not Eberle. That is exactly why we keep you guys around. Thank you so much. We want to make sure we do everyone justice and get every pronunciation right, so we appreciate that. Eberle, writing it on my notes right now, and he has the ball. Luke Eberle to Finley. Dangerous cross into the area just outside the 6. Malik Smith denied briefly by Scott Golden and cleared by Benny Harris. Good positioning there from the Bisons, preventing Liberty from having a shot to go ahead. Breezy night in Nashville, 71 degrees. It'll get cooler. Wind is a little lighter than it was earlier today. About 13 miles per hour when it gusts as Doherty turns and stabs one forward. For Javon Smith, they'll go wide to Benny Harris. Harris chips across. Flag is up. Harris was offside. 4 shots so far today for Lipscomb, 3 for the Flames. Each team with 1 shot on target. It was Javon Smith for Lipscomb with a point-blank header about 3 minutes ago. And Marko Matrevsky well earlier than that in this first half with a rocket that was saved by Michael Sibley. Each team has made 1 substitution. For Lipscomb, an unfortunate one forced by injury. Zarek Jakubowski was out, went down early, had to leave. Harris came in for him. Always good to see Benny on the pitch. Never good to see a player go off due to being hobbled. And Lipscomb is about to make another move here in a moment as I see Killian Burns standing on the far touchline, making sure that Sports Information Director Extraordinaire Hannah Jo Riley has his name. Finley well offside there. He was 6 or 7 steps off when that ball was delivered his way. These teams still feeling each other out, especially in the final third, as neither have been able to find the winning combination to beat the defenses or, at last resort, the keepers. Sibley launches this one into the setting Nashville sun. Cued high by Smith and then Eberle. Hayes Wood to Noah Golden. How many times have we said those names in tandem this year? Here's Wood toward the corner flag. Stops, pulls it back for Doherty, who has to run to catch up to it. Lipscomb staying with the play, but can't keep it in play. As Doherty came out of his central midfield position to try to make something happen and overload that near side. Still waiting for the substitutes to be waved in. Liberty has one on the touchline as well. Michael Huss, second in the ASUN with 4 goals this year, coming off the bench for this team today. Freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, has just 1 goal in his last 7, but it came against this Lipscomb team up in Lynchburg. And again, Killian Byrne on the touchline for the Bisons, has a goal this season. Great-grandfather played Gaelic football. He's a winger who is trained in the MLS Academy world. As hard contact results in another man down for the Bisons here behind the play. Louis Robinson being helped up now by Eberle. but says, actually, I'm going to wait just a second. Look, he lost his shoe. Eberle's going to help him find those orange boots. Certainly, if you do lose your shoe and it's that color, it's not going to be lost for long. Robinson with a thumbs up to the apologizing Eberle. Saw that in the women's game earlier today, too. Hard, fast-paced, passionate, and physical competition, but after moments of high intensity, some handshakes and apologies, cordiality. Always good to see between two fine institutions. Again, the winner of this one will advance to the semifinal in Jacksonville, Florida, Thursday night. And we already know the time. It'll be 6:05 Central, 7:05 Eastern against the highest remaining seed in the South. So Bellarmine, the team that beat each of these squads and won the division, would not be an opponent until a potential final. Javon Smith slips it through toward Hayes Wood. Wood, marked by Betts. His cross is deflected. Smith loses out. Clearance, Liberty. Once Lipscomb gets inside that 18, the path just gets obscured really quickly. As Liberty, very good at staying compact, you can tell why this group has the most clean sheets in the country. Benny Harris marked by Clark. Harris toward the byline. Sliding clearance by Burnett, and he avoids conceding the corner. Matthew says he is watching in Huntsville, cheering on his homie Will Turner. As now Killian Byrne enters for Benny Harris. So it'll be a wing for wing, like for like substitution for Lipscomb. And Huss comes in for Findlay. So a like for like substitution there as well. Forward for forward. Ball launched into the box, headed off target by Hayes Wood. I've seen these teams be pretty direct, but I think it's going to take something a little bit more to get past either of these talented keepers. For instance, if Wood were then heading that one back toward the far post, maybe he could get a runner and combine and catch the keeper back on his heels. It's just so hard to break down either of these groups. Liberty started the season, get this. Well, we'll get that in a moment because there's a beautiful through ball here, and Huss is racing onto it. His first touch of the game, a positive one, toward the byline, but he's going to lose out. It'll be a goal kick for Lipscomb. Good ball there, though. Splendid timing to send him through. But back to Liberty's defense. They started the season, guys, with 549 minutes of shutout soccer. And then they surrendered 5 goals in their first 2 conference matches to Lipscomb and Bellarmine. Ball sails high of everyone. Cross attempted by Matrevsky and ultimately cleared by the Bisons. 40th minute, no score between Liberty and Lipscomb in the conference quarterfinals in ASUN tourney action. Wood grappling for position, and they're going to say that he got a little too busy with his hands there up high. Not sure I entirely agree. I think both, or really all 3 players were jockeying fairly physically, but it seemed incidental and really pretty equitable to me. It results in a free kick right on the stripe. At halftime, we will get you the scores of those other 2 ASUN quarterfinal matches. It is Southern Division champion Jacksonville taking on Stetson, and it's FGCU in North Florida, all headed down and cleared by Lopez. Smith, back to Golden. Noah Golden. Kalala, chased by Huss. Over to Scott Golden. Yes, Scott and Noah are brothers. Twins, in fact. Ball out of play past Louis Robinson's foot. Actually, we'll go ahead and get you those scores now. Tell you how things are going elsewhere in the ASUN tournament. Jacksonville, no surprise, up 2-0 on Stetson at halftime. This ball sails over the goal line. 41st minute. So if that were to hold, then Jacksonville would be the highest seed because they are the #1 seed, and they would be the opponent. for the winner of this match. And that's a challenge because Jacksonville's also hosting the conference tournament. North Florida and FGCU are going at it as well. FGCU, the 2 seed, North Florida, the 3. Ospreys, one of the best mascots in college sports. They are scoreless 40 minutes into their contest. So similar to this one as we're now in the 42nd. Robinson chests it down. Liberty trying to break. You can see how direct and incisive they like to try to be. Noah Holmes checks his run, tries to stay on side, but Eberle is busy trying to escape the left side of that Lipscomb defense. Scott Golden comes up, knocks it away. Ball plays pinball, edge of the area. Huss comes away with it, marked by Robinson. Drags it back, looked like maybe he was trying to win the corner. Instead, Lipscomb neutralizes. Golden, Killian Byrne. Byrne looking around for options. Going to go it alone for now. Now he'll slip it forward for Javon Smith, the freshman striker. Pushed off the ball, and there's the whistle. The referee was waiting to see if there would be an advantage gained by continuing the play. There was not. And so Lipscomb has a free kick and a rare opportunity now to try to perhaps, well, I was going to say maybe send one straight into the teeth of that 18, put it in the mixer, but Lipscomb will take it quickly instead. I think they probably trust their ability to generate from open play just as well. Golden knocked down away from the ball there. The referee says incidental contact, no whistle. And you can hear the fans expressing their displeasure. I don't mind the call in a match where the referee has clearly shown the intention to let these teams decide it with some physicality. Doherty launches one forward. He was trying to connect with Wood, but put too much mustard on that one. 2 minutes to play here in the scoreless first half. This means that these two teams have now played nearly 155 minutes of scoreless soccer in the past 13 days here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Scoreless soccer on the defensive side of things, something that this Liberty team is used to. 7th best goals against average in the NCAA. And their keeper, Danny Cordero, actually has the 4th best goals against average among players who have played 10 or more games. An elite defense. Most clean sheets in NCAA soccer. Part of the reason they have that number 8 RPI. Wins over North Carolina and James Madison didn't hurt. Ball sent forward. Overlapping Golden drags it back. Alejandro Lopez, left-footed shot. Looks like it might have hit a hand. Referee not going to make the call, though. Waves it off explicitly there with 2 arms. It will end up being a corner kick for Lipscomb. And I think the claim there was, even if it did hit the hand, it was such a quick moment that he didn't have the ability to withdraw. It looked like Onyango's hand was in an unnatural position. I definitely saw contact. I could have seen a penalty given. We've seen it for less, but I also understand the referee's desire not to decide this one himself if he can help it. Turner off the corner kick, able to somehow keep it in and win another corner. It'll be on the other side of the pitch here, and with 25 seconds, it would be a long run for Golden, so Lopez will be the one to take it, and this should be the last meaningful action of the first half. 15 seconds to go, clock ticking. Now 10 as Lopez. Better hurry. 6 seconds, now 5. He drives this one middle of the box, headed high, and the follow-up's going to be inconsequential because time's going to run out. Well, Lipscomb and Liberty showing off their defense, but also showing their ambition to try to break ahead. Ideas on both sides of the pitch, but the questions so far have been answered by the respective back lines. We are scoreless through 45 minutes of this ASUN Conference Tournament quarterfinal showdown. The winner goes to the semis Thursday, and that winner will have to be decided in the final 45. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes. This is Lipscomb and Liberty Scoreless Soccer on the Lipscomb Sports Network. We told you at the beginning of the broadcast that the margin between glory and agony was a very thin line, and the margins between Lipscomb and Liberty have been, again tonight, predictably tight. Scoreless at the half, and we are ready now to start the second half of action between the Bisons and the Flames. At stake, a trip to the conference semifinals to take on, likely, Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, Thursday night at 6 o'clock Central Time. Lipscomb and Liberty have played a relatively even match. The stats bear that out. 5 shots for the Bisons, 3 for the Flames, 1 shot on goal for each team. It was Javon Smith putting a header on frame for Lipscomb, and a rocket of a shot by Marco Matrevsky was saved by Lipscomb keeper Michael Sibley. 5 corner kicks for Lipscomb, 2 for the Flames. Fouls 5-4, tilting toward Lipscomb, and the Bisons have been whistled offside twice. Liberty 3 times. 45 minutes away, or maybe longer, from deciding the winner of this one. 2 teams that know each other well. They played to a scoreless draw just 13 days ago. There will be no such thing as a tie tonight. If the teams end up even after 110, they'll go to penalty kicks. But we'll see. One touch could change everything between these 2 squads. It's Liberty moving left to right across your screen in the 2-tone blue, Lipscomb in its gray, as the fans crescendo, and we are ready for the final, or at least second, 45 between Liberty and Lipscomb. The best attack in the league, the Bisons, and the best defense in the league, and one of the best in the country, the Liberty Flames. Liberty gets us underway in the second 45, and immediately the ball launched down the pitch looking for the coach's son, Finley. These teams have both been relatively assertive in midfield. Lipscomb especially looking to work through the wings. Golden and Hayes Wood, the fullback and the right wing respectively, combining a lot in that first half. But when they sent the ball into the middle of the pitch or tried to switch field, Liberty's defense was well positioned, or the pass was just off the mark. Still, you would like, if you're Charles Morrow, to see your team continue to try those aggressive crosses and through balls, because in some cases, they were just an inch away from being inch perfect. Down the right flank is the striker, Javon Smith, the freshman. And now the referee blows the whistle and gives a foul to the Bisons. It's going to be a free kick just 2 steps inside that far touchline. And Alejandro Lopez authoritatively steps to it. Now Golden's going to have a negotiation with them, and they'll decide who's going to take this kick. What we do know is there are 4 Lipscomb bodies on the fringe of the box. Will it be the right foot of Golden or the left of Lopez? It's going to be Alejandro with a low spinning ball looking for Kalala, who can't bust his way past Brant Betts. And Danny Cordero handles it. Cordero, an elite keeper, the 6'2 sophomore from San Jose, Costa Rica. Came up in the Saprissa organization, the premier club in Costa Rica, and actually made the bench twice for the senior squad. One of those times, he was on the bench when a match was started by Randall Leal, now in Major League Soccer here with Nashville SC. A winger who should slide in at the left side for the MLS club this year. Cordero first in the ASUN in saves and wins and shutouts. Musa Morris, nice volley to himself, then sends it forward for Eberle, neutralized by Scott Golden, sent the other way from one number 4 to another, nicked down by Philip Burnett, and cleared by Braden Boretsky, the center back. Throw Liberty. We'll remind you again to chime in on the YouTube comments section. If you're going to have to listen to my voice this whole match, then send yours as well. Send your analysis. Maybe background info if you have it. Try to do a lot of research for these games and do both teams justice, but you know more than I, because many of you know these players personally, are related to them, have rooting interest that means that you're connected to those guys. We'd love to hear from you, even if it's just who you're cheering for and what you think of the match so far. A low handball there, and some frustration from the Liberty defender and from Lipscomb for maybe a little added action after the whistle there, kicking the ball back. Lipscomb free kick taken quickly, and Golden slides his foot into it. A half volley is well off frame, but you like the aggressive touch there from Scott, and the entry ball sent in for him. And just 3 minutes in, it is Lipscomb with the first threat of the second half. Good to hear from Noah saying from Athens, cheering on Will Turner. Don't know if that's Tennessee or Georgia, Alabama or Greece. I would guess not the latter. Perry says, hello to my son, Kelly Finley, and my grandson, Gabe Finley from Houston, Texas. I remember hearing from you last time as well. Great to hear from you, supporting multiple generations of Finleys. Perry says they're ready to see Gabe's first goal of the season or a great assist. Good luck, and good luck to both teams. Somebody might need some luck to get a goal. I don't mean Gabe, I mean anybody on this pitch, because it is going to be tough to break down these defenses. Liberty just 5 goals allowed this season. They've all come in conference play, and funny enough, 3 of them came to this Lipscomb team up in Lynchburg, Virginia. It was a funny game because Liberty hadn't allowed a goal all season. Lipscomb came up there and scored twice in the first 10 minutes. Liberty came back and equalized, and we had a 2-2 game into overtime when senior Jake Zeck scored the winner for Lipscomb. Could this be a chance? Lopez lips it over for Doherty because his own angle was cut off. Cleared by Liberty. Clark to Morris. Slips it between 2 defenders, back to Clark. Booming ball down the pitch, looking for Finley. Sibley steps up and plays it into the seats, and it nearly hits a fan. It hit the seat right in front of her. She stuck her legs up to defend herself, and thank goodness no contact was made. It bounced so hard, it bounced back, I think, onto the pitch from that chair back seat. And thank goodness she was paying attention. That could have been a sketchy situation. And I think, but can't confirm, that was actually sent to a section of Lipscomb women's soccer players. The Lipscomb women are on one side, the Liberty women on the other, supporting their respective teams. This is a soccer doubleheader here at Lipscomb. Pleased to be on the mic for both of them. The Liberty women got a huge upset of Lipscomb. The 4 seed beating the 1 earlier this afternoon to advance to the conference semifinals. And, you know, it's a Liberty team that's been full of quality this year, but a Lipscomb team that was unbeaten in league play and had been the last 2 NCAA tournaments. So definitely considered an upset, despite the fact that the Flames also a high-quality soccer team. That's going to be a foul all day long on Kalala. Fans don't like it, but he violated the airspace there of Eberly and will be whistled on the 50-50 ball. Tom Robinson, related to Louis, says, need a goal, Lipscomb, come on, lads. Noah, I like your optimism. Says, just tuned in this half, but I know Will Turner for Lipscomb going to score a banger. And Noah also confirms that he's watching from Athens, Georgia, and not Athens, Greece. We don't have any viewers today from the Acropolis, sorry to say. But we are in the Athens of the South, Nashville, Tennessee. Onyango launches this one toward the edge of the 18. It's been mostly Lipscomb in its attacking side so far this half, but this will be a throw for Liberty, parallel to the elbow there of the penalty area. Two shots this half for Lipscomb, none for Liberty, as the Bisons end up winning control. We're 7 minutes into the second half, no score, high stakes. The winner advances to play probably Jacksonville. We've mentioned that a couple times today, but always good to keep the bracket in mind and see what's going on elsewhere in the conference. North Carolina North Carolina's not in this conference, although they were victimized by Liberty earlier this year. North Florida and FGCU are scoreless, about to start the second half in that 2-3 battle. The winner of that likely to play Bellarmine in the semis. And Jacksonville and Stetson. Yeah, that one's purely academic at this point. Dolphins in the 70th minute lead 3-0. So Jacksonville, the 1 seed from the south rather, is going to advance to the semis and will play the winner of this match unless Stetson pulls off a shocker. Golden to Killian Byrne. Byrne, aggressive, incisive ball down the left flank goes Robinson. He interrupts it before it crosses the touchline. Sends it back into the middle, was looking for Lopez. It sails past him. Cleared by Matrevsky. Clever touch by Turner, draws some love from the fans. One touch pass here. William Turner has his shot deflected. The best interplay of the day so far for Lipscomb will result in a corner kick for the Bisons. Incredible 1-2 action between Lopez and Turner after Turner volleyed it to himself over a defender. Lopez slipped it back to him, and only steady positioning from the Liberty defense kept that from being a major opportunity for the Bisons. Instead, it's just a good one, a corner kick for Lipscomb from the near flag. This their 6th of the night and 1st of the half. They'll play it short to Lopez, now slide it over to Robinson. One-touch cross there, and I think he might regret taking that on the first touch. He had time to settle and be a little more pinpoint with that cross, but I think part of his thought process was to try to catch the defense off guard in that box. And so 9 minutes into this second half and 54 into the match, we remain scoreless. 2 shots on goal now for Lipscomb, 1 for the Flames of Liberty. It's Lopez and Smith with the shots for the Bisons. Matrevsky for Liberty. And the Flames find some space. No, they cannot. Louis Robinson racing to the touchline, keeps it in to Javon Smith. One-touch pass from one Nottingham native to another. Now back to Javon, back to Lopez, and sorry, to Robinson, and he was wrong-footed there on his heels. You love the action, though, from Lipscomb. They can counter quickly. Both of these teams can. Both like to have the ball, though, and like to be as direct as they can be. Storming down the wing for Lipscomb. Liberty likes to work from the middle of the pitch. Well, notched out of play by Philip Burnett. Off the foot of Javon Smith. Throw for Louis Robinson. Right now, Hayes Wood playing on the left side of the attack for Lipscomb, switching over from the right. He changed places with Killian Byrne, who played a good bit of that first half on the left side and is now on the right flank. Robinson tosses it into Lopez, operating in tight quarters here, trying to play it out of a phone booth is Alejandro Lopez. Takes a hard knock, goes down, free kick Lipscomb in a nice location. Some good real estate here for the Bisons to try to launch an assault on the goal as Lopez climbs to his feet. Morris whistled for the foul. And so now about 6 or 7 steps outside that 18-yard box here, just halfway between the box and the near touchline. That's where the free kick's going to come. And it looks like Lipscomb is amassing its forces on the far side of the pitch to try to run in. It's zonal marking for Liberty. They have 7 defenders, make it 8 to Lipscomb's 5 attackers. 2-man wall to try to disrupt the trajectory, keep them from trying one on frame. Golden, far post going up is Golden, his brother. It's punched away by Cordero, who remains down on the turf. It's a foul on Scott Golden. And a stoppage of play now to attend to Cordero, who took the worst of that collision. And there was nothing malicious in that, as Cordero, thank goodness, back on his feet quickly. Nothing malicious in it. It was Golden jockeying for position, but you can't disrupt the keeper's airspace. He did enter into it, and then Cordero was going out to try to punch it. Got just enough of it and wins a free kick anyway on the foul whistle. That wouldn't have mattered anyway. What a ball in, though, from Noah to Scott, the 2 twin brothers. The 2 Germans. And how many times do you think they've connected, either on the backyard or on the training ground, certainly on the game day pitch, one to another, just like that. Javon Smith nods it back. Lipscomb will try to cycle it around and switch field. Robinson has to chase it down just next to the ASUN logo, for whose championship these teams would like to play. This is the quarterfinals between Lipscomb and Liberty, the Bisons and Flames. They're in the 57th minute of a scoreless match. Byrne, offside. Flag is up. He received the header in from the overlapping Noah Golden. Boy, isn't it fun to watch these Lipscomb fullbacks barnstorm along those flanks. Robinson and Golden could be mistaken for being attacking players as ambitiously as they like to get forward. And if you're Liberty, I think the idea is to capitalize on that aggression by catching Lipscomb back-footed on the counterattack. When those wings press up so high, you have an opportunity to burst back down the flanks yourself. with players that are speedy like Finley and Morris. Eberle with steady presence, also some speed and athleticism. Eberle, sorry. Liberty has won a foul and a free kick. Matrevsky stepping to it. Has 4 assists this year. That's tied with Hayeswood for the conference lead. Liberty hasn't had much opportunity yet this half. Can they generate one here? Ball launched in, headed by Malik Smith off frame. He had a clear look at that. And Golden might have actually had time to turn and clear, but instead makes the safe play and concedes a corner kick in the process. Matrevsky will be the guy to take that as well. The junior from Rochester, New York. Transferred in from Lewisburg, was JUCO All-Region back in 2019, involved in 17 goals in that season. He's the man that everything runs through for this squad. Sends it in for Smith again. That one deflects, and boy, it looked like it went off Louis Robinson, but the referee didn't spot it and gives the goal kick to Lipscomb. That one clearly looked like it deflected, but tough angle for the referee, who I think has done a good job tonight, managing an affair between two ambitious and aggressive teams. That's the second time they have found Malik Smith in the box, though, in quick succession, the 6-foot senior center back. Started every match this year for the team, and he's steady in defense, but also a weapon in those set-piece situations, using his height to try to generate chances. 50-50, last off the foot of Killian Byrne, throw for Liberty. That's now 4 shots for Liberty. They're 4/5 of the way to their total last time these teams played 13 days ago. Just 5 efforts for Liberty, 20 for Lipscomb. And the Bisons have Liberty doubled up in that category today, 8-4, 2-1 shots on goal. Trevor says he's watching for Marco Matrevsky from Rochester, New York. By the way, Dinosaur Barbecue up in Rochester, New York is not an advertiser on this show, but got some really good barbecue and wings. Rochester's a lovely city. Laura Malden says, let's go Lipscomb, watching from Abilene, Texas. Shout out to Chase Caraher, number 14, from Laura and Nat. MH is also cheering on Marco as Lipscomb wins a goal kick. And we've hit the 60th minute mark in this contest. Kristen and Tammy commenting as well. Kristen says, go Flames. Tammy asks what the temperature is. Good question. So it started 71. It was sunny out. It's dropped about 8 degrees. I went and got a jacket during halftime. The breeze picking up as well, about 15 miles per hour at gusts. Matrevsky charges down the flank, tries to connect with Finley inside the elbow. It has been Liberty turning this match around just a bit here in recent minutes. They've had the front foot really ever since a couple of Lipscomb chances, and really since the foul on Scott Golden clattering into the keeper Danny Cordero on the free kick outside the box. Liberty has gathered and tried to possess the ball just a little bit more and seize control of this contest, as one of these teams has 29 more regulation minutes to try to find the go-ahead goal. Finley, marked by 2 men, drags it back. The shot is saved. That was Seth Clark, who didn't get all of it. And Michael Sibley didn't have to do much, but he did make his second save of the night regardless. And that's really positive action. Really well done by Finley to see that he didn't have the angle, but he had a man in the pocket there just inside the 18. And Clark was there. He's good in those situations. But at that point, I think the ball took a quick little skip before he touched it, and so he ended up kind of deflecting it toward goal as opposed to really powering a shot. Kalala, the center back, stepping forward and rocketing one in the direction of Javon Smith, who I believe has played every minute here at striker today for Lipscomb. Burnett back to Borutsky, skied forward for Morris. Lipscomb wins. Stockerty, hard contact there, and an immediate whistle, and the booking's going to be coming here. The first of the game to either team is going to be shown to Seth Clark. And you can hear the reaction. A physical challenge. Doherty went down hard, and it happened right in front of the seats here. And in particular, you hear the yells of the Lipscomb women's soccer team Tough game for them today, and they are here nonetheless, full-throated and great spirit. Looking at it again, yeah, it looked like there was an elbow in that challenge by Clark, and he earns the yellow card in the 63rd minute. First booking for either team today, and a free kick for Scott Golden. Keep the center backs back on this one, and Scott launches this one toward the 6, and it's headed by Hayeswood, and it's in! It's a goal for the Bisons. They have found their breakthrough. Just listen to the fans clamor in approval of Lipscomb's go-ahead goal in the conference tourney quarterfinals. Hayeswood scores his 3rd of the season. He is the man who haunts the Flames. A goal and an assist in Lynchburg, and now a goal here at Lipscomb has the Bisons poised to try to advance to the conference semifinals in the 63rd minute. The assist goes to Scott Golden, who launched that one to the head of Hayeswood, and the sophomore from Chattanooga made no mistake. The header past Cordero, who came out for it, but could not get to it. And Lipscomb is on the board first. Did you hear the crowd in front of us after the yellow card foul and then after that goal? I have never heard it so loud, and we've had some loud matches here. This thing is getting intense, and now it's stern conversation from the referee. After contact on Lipscomb, it's Golden who's the recipient of the lecture, and it's a free kick for Liberty. Do not count out this Flames team. The set piece in the 63rd gives Lipscomb the lead, but we have a whole lot of soccer to play here in Music City. And the next touch could be important as well. Matrevsky, a accurate, sharp-shooting right foot to try to play in a free kick. Very similar situation for the Flames. This one bounces awkwardly before it is fielded by Sibley. It was Malik Smith and Eberly in the neighborhood. So the goal comes off the head of Hayeswood. It's no surprise that he would be in the mix. He's taken a shot in every game since the opener for this team. But the man who's tied for first in the conference in assists gets his 3rd goal of the season to put Lipscomb ahead. Foul goes against the Bisons here, and you can really feel the temperature of this one turning up. Referee wasn't ready there for that kick, and fans wanted a handball, but in reality it was Philip Burnett who knew that the referee was going to wave that one back, and so now Liberty's going to take the chance to re-rack and do something a little different. Danny Cordero's going to step forward now. Boy, this has been a pretty feisty match in a clean way, but a passionate way. All of a sudden, the temperature has ratcheted up in this one after a yellow card and a goal. And you can only envision what the intensity is going to be like for the final 26 minutes of this contest. Daniel weighs in on the goal, says been doing it since we were 3. Attaboy, Hayes. Lots of time in this one. 5 different matches this year, Lipscomb has gone ahead and then conceded a goal, including twice versus Liberty in Lynchburg. They went up 2-0. Liberty tied it at 2 before Lipscomb won in overtime. So a little bit of history between these two teams. Lipscomb going ahead is certainly not a guarantee. They're going to have to continue to be ironclad in their defense. And I'll be honest, there's no way they're going to bunker down right now. Lipscomb would do much better to try to find that insurance goal, to keep pushing forward. If they go out of their game and sit back, Liberty has the talent to pick them apart. Pick anybody apart, really. Lipscomb has not specialized in clean sheets this season. Even if they did get one against Liberty last time these two teams played. Musa Morris, target man, back to his central midfield, headed forward looking for Huss. Turner picks his pocket to Louis Robinson. William Turner back to Robinson. Forward to the left side of that triangle, and Doherty. Good movement from Lipscomb in possession here. Lopez can turn. He slips it forward for Killian Byrne. who touches the wrong side of the ball there. It's like he was trying to play it back across his body, but that's exactly where Philip Burnett was standing. Good positioning there by the defender. So it took a towering set piece and an aggressive play by Hayes Wood to finally break the deadlock between these two teams. In the 63rd minute, these two teams had played 173 consecutive minutes of scoreless soccer in their last 2 matches. Wood assisted by Scott Golden. It's his first goal involvement of the season. Lipscomb looking to develop another chance here. Lopez drags it wide. Reserve on the touchline for Liberty. He's not a reserve at all. It's Seth Clark coming back into the contest. He'll enter for Musa Morris. Those two often play together. Clark, an attacking midfielder. Morris, a wing slash striker forward. Noah Holmes is in, though, to play that role. He'll rotate over to that left wing. And Clark will slide in at his normal attacking midfield spot. Lopez commits a foul there and immediately apologizes. It was an ambitious play. It looked kind of nasty, the contact, but he's going for the ball and immediately apologized and helped up Marko Matrevsky. Clark, clever chip over to the near side, and Burnett marked by Robinson. No passage. Back to Eberle. Across the stripe. Perutsky. His pass deflected forward by the pressing Javon Smith. John Wilkinson says, played against Hayes Wood with my CPA high school team when he was at Boyd Buchanan as seniors. Great player at that level as well as this. And John is a coach in the area. He's a tremendous coach and a tremendous photographer, by the way. And yes, John, we will see you next week at Nashville Soccer Club. Nashville SC getting ready to start its MLS season. I'll be on the radio mic along with my good buddy John Freeman, who's called a number of these Lipscomb games as well. Chance here for Liberty, and the shot goes high. Michael Huss found himself in. The defender, he volleyed it to himself and tried the quick one-touch shot. It was well off frame, but applause from his teammates there as Liberty looking to make things happen. So Hayes Wood, the Boyd Buchanan alum, the Buccaneers down in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with the goal in the 63rd minute in conference tournament action, makes him one of 2 players on this Lipscomb team that have scored in postseason action. Along with Zarek Jakubowski, who started this match and went out quickly with an injury. Wish him the best. Haven't seen him return yet today. Hope he's going to be able to recover well. Had some injury issues earlier this year as well. This Lipscomb team, as there's going to be surely a foul on Turner. Nope, just a throw. Oh, it is a foul. This Lipscomb team won the conference championship in 2017 and 2018. Lost in the quarterfinals to Stetson last season. I was going to say Jay Wilkinson, not John. I was about to say that didn't seem right. Thanks for tuning in there, John. John/Jay. I know who you are, I promise. Heads collide inside the 18, and 2 men are down here for the Bisons. Clock will stop with 20 minutes and 13 seconds remaining as there's concern about both of these 2 players. It's an innocent collision incidental between the 2 teammates wearing gray. It's one of the players. We always want to hesitate to identify guys until we can clearly see. Honore Kalala is the other. Lipscomb's 2 center backs come together. And Scott is up immediately. Well, not immediately, but he's up now. And Kalala is dabbing his forehead here and having a conversation with the trainer. Now, since the trainer came out to address him, he's going to have to leave the contest at least for a moment, and hopefully only for a moment. You can understand the delicacy of head-to-head collisions, and the emphasis these days on head injuries in soccer is a justified one. Right now they're doing, it looks like, some initial concussion protocol with Kalala. Such a talented young player, a sophomore. Has been really reliable for this team, sturdy, knows where to be. And he's walking off the pitch slowly now to the applause of fans and a couple of opponents. So Scott Golden never received attention for the trainer. He will be able to stay in the contest. And what Lipscomb's going to do is adjust now and send William Turner back to that right center back role. He's no stranger to that position. He started the season there. And Turner, who leads the team in minutes, will be the right center back. Scott Golden will be the left center back. And there'll be an adjustment in midfield then and a substitution here soon for Lipscomb. Charles Morrow, the Lipscomb coach, is talking with the trainer and then perhaps positioning his players. He's going to see if he needs to go to his bench or if Kalala is going to be available right away. Now, if Kalala is able to come back in, then they'll all switch back around, and Turner will go back to central midfield. And while that conversation happens, it looks like, yes, there is going to be a Lipscomb replacement. And Gabe Finley will enter for Noah Holmes in all of that. Thomas Priest will enter for Lipscomb. So Priest is a central defensive midfielder. So he will take Turner's role. Turner will slide back to where Kalala was playing. And this is not an unfamiliar setup for Lipscomb. In fact, this exact look, minus maybe a couple of pieces, was their starting lineup for much of the early part of the season. Killian Byrne takes it down. Byrne trying to burn past the defender toward the byline. Going alone for now, and now taps it over to Louis Robinson. Slides it through with his left foot. One-touch pass to Thomas Priest. In for Alejandro Lopez. Lopez toward the goal line. Tough angle shot is saved by Cordero. Alejandro not afraid to use that left foot to try to generate something. And at the very least, a little bit of attacking from Lipscomb now could be the best form of defense against a Liberty team desperate for an equalizer. Lopez goes high, heads it for Hayeswood, the hero so far, the goal scorer for the Bisons. Byrne loses out, applies pressure. Burnett has to get rid of it, dumps it into his attacking third. Robinson's attempted clearance deflected by Huss. Huss, cross above Finley. If Finley were 7'4", he might have been able to have a shot at that, but that cross just a little bit high. And here's some good news. Honoré Kalala is coming back in the match. And he will enter for Thomas Priest. So everything we told you about the shape changing for Lipscomb, you can forget. Because now Kalala is in at right center back again, where he typically plays. Golden on the left side. And Will Turner will move back up to a central defensive midfield role. Lipscomb just under 19 minutes rather, away from a win that would send them to the conference semifinals. It's a place they know well. They've been there for 7 of the last 8 seasons, and they've won 2 of the last 3 conference championships. The task would be tall, taking on number 1 seed Jacksonville, who is closing out Stetson right now as we speak. And it would take place in Jacksonville, who's hosting the semifinals and finals. Scott Golden switches field to his brother Noah. Pressure, Liberty. Kalala looks to deal with it by tapping it forward and gives it away. Finley rushing down the other way. Gabe Finley marked by Kalala. Ball hits off his chest and Kalala plays it off Finley cleverly. Smart play by the sophomore. Throw for Lipscomb in the coffin corner. And many of you commenting now, so glad to be hearing from each of you who are watching today. The Zeck family watching from Broomfield, Colorado. Grandpa watching from New Lenox, Illinois. Jake Zeck, what a story he is. Scored his first career goal in Lynchburg, Virginia in the 96th minute in overtime to give Lipscomb the win. And both he and his coach said that there was some strong emotion after that performance, as Zeck has been such a steady, reliable contributor for this team on and off the pitch. But we're really on the pitch, he's been limited by injury for a decent amount of his career. And to come in and get that kind of redemption against a Liberty team that at the time was ranked in the top 25, and is still obviously an excellent team as you've seen tonight. That was a big moment for Zek. All headed down by Borutsky. Doherty. Ambitious through ball. Cleared by Braden Borutsky. Robinson takes his time before heaving it in. Alejandro Lopez, quick tap to Doherty. Robinson's passing triangles have worked really well for Lipscomb this half. Doherty, quick step there. Looked like he could have split the defenders, instead stepped back, and it's okay. That's fine. He could have charged forward, but up 1-0, decided to make the safe play. Robinson slips. Corner kick anyway. Boy, I wish I could fall in my daily life and still win corner kicks. Robinson talented enough to still put something on that. Clever play to send that off the defender, and Lipscomb has another corner. This their 7th of the contest as they lead the shot tally 11-6. 4-2 shots on goal, and the all-important stat line, the scoreboard, they lead that too. 1-0 thanks to Hayes Wood in the 63rd minute. Just over 15 to go as we're now on the 74th minute. Ball skied high back post, spins over everybody's heads. Alejandro Lopez, the attacking leader for this Lipscomb team, has 4 shots, 2 of them on goal, and now 3 fouls as well. But the assist today to Scott Golden, and the goal to Hayes Wood. His only shot could be the decisive one unless Liberty can bounce back. Lipscomb looks like it's on its way to at least out-shooting Liberty today, which they've done in every match this year except for one. Outshot or tied their opponents in the shot tally. An aggressive, assertive team who likes to be on the ball, and you can see that here. William Turner fouled from behind and then slides in and delivers a word of maybe not encouragement to Marko Matrevsky. And now the referee's going to have a conversation about that with Turner, who was fouled. He was pulled back, but then probably didn't have to finish the job there. Some would say you like to see the competitive spirit, though, between two teams who are passionate about trying to get through to the semifinals. It's Lipscomb with the foothold right now. But don't count out this Flames team. Noah Golden, the preseason Defensive Player of the Year, odds-on favorite to finish that job in the postseason. Sends it across, deflects. Now it's Lou Robinson, left-footed spinning cross. Cleverly cleared by Onyengo. Scott Golden back to Kalala under pressure. Did the really smart play and just got rid of it. Alejandro Lopez. Forward for Scott Golden, or sorry, for Louis Robinson. Robinson's cross. Skillfully dealt with by Borutsky, who clambers that one down the pitch. And there's a foul. Scott Golden came into the back of Michael Hush. You're seeing a lot of contact on these 50-50 balls as guys do everything they can to try to gain an advantage without drawing the whistle. Free kick for Liberty, and every time they get a free kick now anywhere near midfield or in, you can imagine they're going to do this. Try to launch it into the night and equalize this thing. Headed away by Kalala. Backward, though. Corner kick, Flames. Sibley tried to catch up to it. Couldn't get there in time. And so Liberty now is going to have its 4th corner kick of the contest. And guess who? It's Matrevsky who's going to take it. 77th minute between Lipscomb and Liberty. It's 1-0 Bisons. Matrevsky looking to change that. Whips this one in near post. Deflects off Eberle last, says the referee. Liberty looking for its first ever win against Lipscomb. Never beaten the Bisons in 4 meetings. And if this thing were to end in regulation, it'd be the first time that that would have happened for Liberty in conference play all year. Every match they've played has been decided in overtime. Every single conference match. All 4 of them in this awkward divisional setup. Both teams 1-2-1 in the A-Sun, but that belies their true quality, as Liberty is number 8 nationally in RPI and has the most clean sheets of any team in this country. Lipscomb, the conference leader in scoring, 16 goals, 15 of them have been assisted. Now make that 17 and 16 respectively. Oh, Louis Robinson, what a tackle. He's got nothing but green grass on the other side. Robinson, Lopez, backheel pass for Louis into space. Louis Robinson, still with it, goes down, clean contact. Boy, though, that was beautiful partnership between Robinson and Lopez. Some stellar stuff as Lipscomb is buzzing with this 1-0 lead, looking to make it 2. Offside flag is up on Javon Smith. Cordero's going to hurry to put this back in play. It is urgency hour for the Flames. The referee had to give Javon Smith a whistle to back off. He delays things about 15 seconds before Cordero can step back in. The best keeper in the conference in many categories. Saves, wins, and shutouts is Cordero. So hard to beat. He went forward on the ball that was sent in by Scott Golden as Sibley slips and has to clear. That would have been a heck of a way to give up an equalizer. And 2 balls are on the pitch. Matrevsky was going to get it. But elsewhere, Liberty threw it in before the referee was ready. Matrevsky will win out here. Marco Matrevsky laces one in. Kalala has to deal with this, and he does. He nods at the direction of Louis Robinson, who clatters it off the foot of Liberty's Eberle. Thanks to everyone who's watching. Sorry for the technical difficulties here as the video looks like it's just stuttering just a little bit. We apologize. We'll try to keep you posted here on the audio side at least. Noah Holmes goes down in the box. The referee waves him up. Liberty threatening. Lipscomb battening down the hatches. Smith volleys it over his head into freedom. 81st minute. Pressure on, and Smith almost gets there. Cordero has to clear, and that means he can't pick out a teammate. Instead, Kalala sends it forward, headed out by Liberty. Yeah, sorry for the technical issues here. The video stuttering just a little bit. We will, again, do our best to keep you apprised. I know the audio might be cracking up as well. Killian Byrne battling along that near touchline. Ball is out for a corner kick for the Bisons, and they're going to have some time and take their time. And very courteously and altruistically, the ball is placed down at the corner spot quickly by Onyango, saying, hurry up. 8 minutes, 40 seconds and ticking. Lopez and Golden, one of them is going to send this one in. Lipscomb embarking on its latest corner kick here, their 9th of the match since backing out. Goal kick for Liberty, they gotta hurry. The Bisons have been to the A-Sun title match 2 of the last 3 seasons, in the semifinals 7 of the last 8. That's what's at stake here, a trip to the Final Four of the conference and a date with #1 seed from the South, Jacksonville. And Coach Charles Morrow was frank with me talking pregame. He said the winner of this game, whoever it is, Lipscomb or Liberty, he thinks will have a shot certainly at getting that NCAA tournament bid. The quality between number 2 and 3 in the Northern Division of the A-Sun is high. Bellarmine, credit to them. Probably not as stacked with talent as the other two, although that's certainly arguable, but they got the job done and showed grit. Did a great job winning this division in their first ever season of the A-Sun and their first year up from D2. Golden charges forward, there's a whistle. The referee was going to play advantage there. Now blows it back as Golden fell down. The yellow card is shown. Second yellow of the night for Liberty. Professional foul to try to slow down Golden's break, and he was going to be off to the races otherwise. That also stops the clock briefly. 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go. '83rd minute. Crunch time as Liberty tries to equalize. And that header, well, that had to have crossed the byline, right? It did. Corner kick. And ladies and gentlemen, it is loud here at the Lipscomb Soccer Complex. We have Lipscomb fans to the left, Liberty supporters to the right. A healthy contingent of them made it in from Lynchburg, Virginia. A raucous crowd on hand to see two of the teams that might be the best two teams in this conference playing in the quarterfinals. It's crazy how this season has transpired. The Bisons on top on a goal by Hayeswood in the 63rd minute. And with 6.5 to go, they're looking for insurance. Golden drives it far post. Got a man there. Headed back in. Kalala! Insurance for the Bisons. The sophomore center back with authority. And surely now it is Lipscomb headed to the Final Four of the ASUN. He couldn't have picked a better time to score his first career goal for Lipscomb. Honore Kalala, assisted by Hayeswood. Assisted by Scott Golden. So Scott Golden with both assists. It is 2-0 Lipscomb in the waning moments of this quarterfinal contest. Noah sent it in. Scott headed into the 6. And Honore Kalala took a breath and took a half volley. And we'll have to check, but that might have put a hole in the back of that net. And now Lipscomb is buzzing. The Bisons on the doorstep of the ASUN semis. They tell you that when the ball is headed to you when you're in the box, head it back the way it came. If you don't have an angle on goal, head it back the way it was delivered. And that play had to be right off the training ground. One center back to another. Kalala was all by himself. And Liberty is desperate now. They have won a corner, courtesy of Seth Clark. This is a talented and resilient Liberty group. And they were down 2-0 to Lipscomb in Lynchburg and came back and tied it up before losing in overtime. Granted, they had a lot more time to do it. Those first 2 goals came in the first 7 minutes. Now they're in the last 6. But if they can get one here, all of a sudden this thing becomes a little bit more interesting. Ball played wide and gathered easily by Sibley. Epic goal, says Jay Wilkinson. Neil says game, set, match. I'll tell you what, I won't count out this Liberty team just yet. But it will be a very tough hill to climb. In the 85th minute, ball sent forward here toward Killian Byrne. Also racing onto it was Alejandro Lopez. Clearance for Liberty. And I think it's to Lipscomb's credit that they didn't sit back and bunker when they had that 1-0 lead. They kept pushing forward. They kept looking for that second chance. They have respect for this Liberty team. They know the Flames can strike quickly. Better to get that second goal, and that's what they did. Noah Golden sends this one in. Does Lipscomb have a third in mind here? Doherty loves a long shot. Skips this one along the ground. Stopped by Cordero. And he does not give up a rebound. Alejandro Lopez was waiting just in case. Foul behind the play, a late whistle here. Referee will stop the clock because the ball had skittered away. Fans expressing their displeasure with it, at the very least the lateness of that whistle. The referee who's done a good job controlling the temperature of a big-time match today. Conference tournament action. West Bowling with you, the waning moments. Lipscomb ahead 2-0 on Liberty. This ball launched into the Nashville night. Cued high by Scott Golden, the man with 2 assists today. As things stand, he has to be the man of the match for the Bisons. This ball sent in. Rope that'll count as a shot on target, most likely. Corralled by Sibley. The first assist was a free kick from not far from where we stand, near midfield. From Scott Golden, headed in by Hayes Wood. And the second, a corner kick from Noah Golden, his brother, as the fans thought Cordero had crossed the line of the 18 there. It was headed on frame by Golden, or into the 6 by Golden, and finished by Honore Kalala's first career goal. Now another chance here. And Javon Smith is offside. And he's going to click it into the net anyway, and he's going to draw a yellow card for that. Referee stops the clock to put Javon Smith in the book. First yellow card of the day for the Bisons. So if he was attempting to waste a little time, the referee was going to be wise to that. Whistle going Liberty's way. Petrevsky went down. This thing is getting a little bit chippy. And the referee will stop the clock to have a conversation with the players and tell Lipscomb's forces to get back the obligatory 10 yards. If Liberty is to have even a prayer of tying this up, they need a goal immediately, and then of course another one in the next 2.5. Now Trevsky stands over it. He could take aim from here. Not much of an angle to try to chip this onto a head. Marko Matrevsky, the team leader and the conference co-leader in assists, stands over it with his rocket right foot as the referee has a conversation with Musa Morris and Louis Robinson, who are jockeying for position along that wall. Still talking to him. It's now Morris defiantly speaking with the referee. He's talking with Kalala as well, the scorer of the second goal. Now waves them off, points to the goal, and Matrevsky has free rein to kick this ball. 2.5 minutes to go. Liberty desperate for a foothold in this game. Matrevsky fires this one. Rebound given up. Oh, and the shot just goes wide. I think it was Musa Morris there on the rebound who put it wide of frame. A golden chance for Liberty against the purple and gold. And they had to have it. They just had to have it. And since they didn't get it, the path to victory for Lipscomb almost certain now. 2:27 to go. Ball launched into the dark sky. Volleyed overhead clearance by Smith, headed back into the danger area for Lipscomb. They love creating defense by generating offense. The more pressure they can apply over here, the less time Liberty has to do anything in its attack. And somehow, racing away with the ball is Noah Golden. Then he slips. What a dynamo he is. He will undoubtedly be the odds-on favorite for Defender of the Year again this year. Killian Byrne by himself in the box. He falls down, gets back on his feet. Ball deflects. Matrevsky, pressured by Javon Smith, clears. Lipscomb has been authoritative in this match. They've owned the second half, and they've earned the victory if they're able to hold on. Matrevsky over the top. Huss battles Kalala. Clearance Turner. No problem for Lipscomb's defense today as they're looking for their second consecutive clean sheet on this pitch against Liberty in 13 days. This one more decisive than the last because it would send them through to the ASUN semis. Jacksonville awaits there. Javon Smith relieving pressure, slips it forward for Alejandro Lopez. 1 minute left. 60 seconds standing between Lipscomb and advancement. And it's purely academic at this point. Foul, free kick, Bisons. Lopez goes down, helped up by Onyango. And Lipscomb can cue the celebration music with 46 seconds to go. And they're going to just take this one toward the corner flag. Lopez, fleet-footed, toward the flag, wins a throw. 30 seconds. Now 20. Foul goes Liberty's direction. Clock continues to tick. 15. Now 10.
9, 8, 7.
And Liberty's going to play it out of bounds. And the fans rising crescendo here on the left side of the stands of the Lipscomb Soccer Complex, as for the 8th time in 9 seasons, the Lipscomb Bisons men's soccer team will advance to the ASUN Tournament semifinals. The final score, Lipscomb 2, Liberty 0. Goals in the 57th minute by Hayes Wood, assisted by Scott Golden, and in the 84th by Honore Kalala, assisted by the Golden twins, Scott and Noah, and the outlook is indeed golden for the Bisons. Lipscomb's quest to win its 3rd conference tournament title in 4 years is alive and well. Liberty's admirable season ends here in Nashville. That season ends at 6-3-2. A Liberty team that, quite honestly, likely deserved better than the fate of 3rd in the division. But overtime losses put them there and sent them to Nashville to take on a Lipscomb team that tonight would not be denied. And it is official. It will be Lipscomb versus Jacksonville in the conference semifinals Thursday night in Jacksonville, Florida at 6:05 Central Time. As Jacksonville was a 3-0 winner over Stetson tonight. The other semifinal will be between Bellarmine, the champion of this division, and the winner of Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida, which right now is scoreless in the second half at last check. So what a night for Lipscomb. Hayes Wood scores his 3rd of the season. Honore Kalala, his 1st in Bison purple and gold. And it is Lipscomb with a 2-0 win. They outshot Liberty 14-10. Shots on goal 6-5. 5 saves for keeper Michael Sibley. 4 for Danny Cordero, who closes out an epic season in which Liberty led the nation in clean sheets. 17 fouls on Lipscomb. 12 whistled on Liberty in a physical second half. 9 corners for the Bisons, 5 for Liberty. Lipscomb whistled offside 5 times, Liberty 3. But the tally that matters, the scoreboard, and that lies in favor of Lipscomb 2-0. And so Lipscomb moves on to the Final Four of the ASUN again Thursday night, 6:05 Central Time. The Bisons will take on Jacksonville. A win, and they would advance to the conference title match for the 3rd time in 4 years. But that will be the end of the road for us, as those games will be played in Jacksonville. Thank you so much for doing us the honor of joining us on YouTube throughout this season, whether you're watching Lipscomb men, Lipscomb women, or both. And I'll express that gratitude on behalf of John Freeman as well, the voice of Bison Soccer. Been filling in for him here a little bit. It's been a privilege to do so. I'll be joining him in the Nashville SC radio booth when MLS play starts a week from tonight. But the future extremely bright for both of these squads. Congratulations to Liberty on a fine season. As things sit right now, they're still 8th in the country in RPI. I know that's little consolation, ending their season on a tough note. Nonetheless, an admirable campaign it was for Coach Kelly Finley and his squad, and Lipscomb marches on. Again, final score, Bisons 2, Flames 0. Lipscomb on to the ASUN Tournament semifinals. We'll talk to